Chapter 21. The Top Creation Killers. There's something else to understand about the laws. Inherent in each law is a counterfeit, or an opposite principle or behavior, which kills creation. So not only do the laws reveal the biggest factors that create success, but they also reveal the biggest factors that limit success. So now that we understand the laws, we can explore each further to find how misapplying each kills our efforts to create. Law of Attraction Counterfeit. Attracting more of what you don't want. The counterfeit to the law of attraction is attracting what you don't want because you don't know what you do want. The law of attraction works. It will give us what we think about the most. To counteract this counterfeit, make sure you're not just complaining about what you don't want, but rather focusing on what you really want. Law of Alignment Counterfeit. Clinging to false beliefs. The counterfeit to the law of alignment is simply being okay with living with your limiting beliefs. It's allowing false beliefs to dictate your choices and results. To counteract this counterfeit, go on a conscious search and destroy mission to identify and change every limiting belief you can find in yourself. Law of Choice and Accountability Counterfeit. Blame. The counterfeit of the law of choice and accountability is blaming other people and circumstances for our results in life. It's holding other people accountable for all our failures. To counteract this counterfeit, accept full responsibility for your behavior and choices. Empower yourself to respond more appropriately to other people and circumstances. Law of Gestation Counterfeit. Unrealistic expectations. The opposite of the law of gestation is not allowing adequate time for creations to manifest. It's having unrealistic expectations on the timing. Just because something doesn't manifest on our expected timeline doesn't mean it's not going to. It just means that it hasn't yet, and that our guess on timing was off. Instead of giving up on our dreams and goals, we simply need to adjust our timing, look for the lessons we need to learn, and continue working for our goals in complete faith. Law of Faith Counterfeit. Seeing before believing. Lack of faith kills creation perhaps more than any other factor. The law of faith works against us when we wait to see our creation before really believing that it will happen. To counteract this, we have to learn to believe things before we can see them. Law of the Harvest Counterfeit. False expectations. We kill our creations when we expect a specific outcome and become attached to that outcome. Then we become disillusioned and even bitter when things don't work out exactly how we wanted or expected them to. To counteract this, we have to learn to release attachment to outcomes. We have to work towards our dreams and goals with detachment, trusting that whatever outcome we experience is for our best benefit. Just because things don't turn out how we expected them to doesn't mean that we did something wrong or that a law didn't work. It means that we didn't know the results that would flow from our choices. We had hope for an outcome, but not certain knowledge. We do reap what we sow, but sometimes we just don't fully understand what seeds we're planting in the moment. It's like a farmer throwing unidentified seeds in the ground. Something will grow, even if he doesn't know what seeds he planted. Law of Purpose Counterfeit. Satisfying the ego. The law of purpose works against us when we try to be something we're not in order to satisfy the ego. We seek fulfillment in external things that feed ego, such as status, prestige, money, comfort, etc. We pursue the wrong opportunities because they feed our ego. We don't follow the right paths because they don't seem important, conspicuous, or sexy. The ego craves the limelight. We compare ourselves to everyone else. We judge others. We compete with each other. To counteract this, We have to learn to be at peace with who we are and our true purpose. We have to follow what makes us truly, deeply happy, not just what feeds our ego. Law of intuition counterfeit, relying on logic. We get stuck when we try to solve our problems and get breakthroughs through logical thinking. But our logical mind is quite limited. To get deeper breakthroughs, we have to go deeper than logic to intuition. Logic can be a great servant, but it's a poor master. We want to trust and follow our hearts while using logic to be practical in doing so. But never do we want to make decisions through logic alone. Law of connection counterfeit, pride and selfishness. We kill connection when we live life as a solo journey. We live the law of one, living just for ourselves. Have you ever heard the term self-made millionaire? It's a misguided term because such a thing doesn't and has never existed. Nobody becomes wealthy on their own. Wealthy people become so precisely through relationships and by leveraging the abilities of other people. The law of connection shows that you can't manifest your creations on your own. You need other people. This journey isn't about you or me. It's about all of us. It's a journey where we support, uplift, and inspire one another and receive that from others. Here are some selected quotes on the topic discussed in this chapter. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and bring itself to believe, it can achieve. Napoleon Hill. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Albert Einstein.